It's the icebreaker today, Matthew.
What is y'all's favorite season?
Hmm. I'd say winter for sure.
Winter.
Just like how cold it is, and you can like wrap yourself up in blankets with the fire going. Like, come on,
Yeah,
it
winter's
doesn't get
definitely the
better.
best.
I'm gonna say late fall, like right before winter,
Mm.
like when it's like 70 degrees. Like it's middle into
Yeah.
football season. Like
Mhm.
things are heating up. Like
The sun's still out, but it's
sun's
cold.
yeah, sun's
Like,
still out, but always got a nice breeze. The change of
yeah.
color. You see the leaves on the ground. Like the backyard football games are like electric.
Yeah.
I prefer winter because I'd rather be cold than hot.
That's true.
Because like you gotta think about it. If you're hot, like you can unbundle, but you're still gonna be hot.
Yeah, but I
But
don't
if
have
you're
to be
cold,
super cold.
if
yeah,
you're cold, you can just bundle up more.
dude. Like this past week, weather has been perfect. Like,
Yeah,
it's.
I'm like
I woke up this morning and it was like 60 degrees. I'm like, it's
dude,
finally hoodie weather.
dude,
I'm
it
so
smells. It
excited.
smells like winter
I
outside.
like
Like,
being able to wear sweatpants and like long sleeve or a hoodie and not get
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Saints defense just got another pick. Gabe is up
Oh.
in fantasy.
Oh yeah, if
today.
y'all don't know, we're watching football while we're recording
Yeah,
this.
guys, we've got the Matthew just knocked a chair over. We've got the red zone pulled up so we can just give some updates. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think late fall for me, just because it's cold and it feels good, but it's not too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the worst season?
Worst season, dude. Summer, like obviously.
Yeah, dog day like the end of summer, like the
Yeah.
dog days of August, late July, August,
Yeah.
when it's like 110 degrees. Like, if you're not in the pool, then it's terrible.
Exactly. Like you walk outside for 30 seconds and you're sweating. Like it should never be like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And we're in Texas, so it's always like that.
yeah.
I was so happy this morning. Oh my! I don't think I'll understand. I love hoodies.
Yeah.
We're amazed at the listening that you guys are doing and just that you guys are staying engaged and involved. So thank you guys for that. Let's hop into today's episode talking about how to lead in our culture today. The first question we have on here is, why is it hard to be a young leader in our culture?
Well, I think it's hard because there's so much peer pressure going on.
hmm
Like
Yeah.
you have so many people influencing you. So when you try to change the culture, it's going to be hard because there's so many people that want you to do the other culture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, in my brain it made sense, but like
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a counterculture,
Yeah.
like we were
Mhm.
talking about in church.
yeah.
Yeah.
Counterculture. I mean, it's just so many things that happen today that can affect you, and really, it's hard to not fall into temptation, and that's why you got to make sure that we talked about last week or last episode. Keeping with somebody that's going to hold you accountable,
Yeah.
making sure that you have right people around you. Gabe, what do you have on that?
It's like y'all said, and then we've talked about it many times. Just like distractions, like things that are going on, and you can't get rid of those. Like you can't have to stay inside your house, like Matthew said before. You're gonna face distractions.
Yeah.
It's just how you handle them.
Yeah, I think also it's because doing those things are so popular, the popularity of the
Mhm.
culture, like the world doesn't want you to be the way that you're supposed to be.
hmm
And I think that's what makes it difficult, is just because everybody's like, why are you that way? Like, it's not
Yeah.
the cool way. And I think it's really important, that we can be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
be comfortable with being the odd one out, especially if it's for a good purpose.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna face challenges. Like,
Yeah, and that's actually our next question, I think, if you want to read that one.
what challenges do we face being a young leader, and how do we overcome those challenges?
Do you have anything specific?
There's, it's kind of like a big category. Like it's all like in the same category of distractions that are distracting you from your main purpose.
Yeah, I think
And like,
that's spot on.
yeah,
Like, there's, partying, doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Always is there. And, we talk about, like, you're going to have friends that go and do those things. And part of being a
Mhm.
young leader and being a good leader is being able to say, hey, I'm not going to do that, making that choice. and even saying, hey, it's not smart of you to do that because of the potential risk it could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the best way to overcome it is like who you hang out with and
Yeah.
like who you're giving your time to, who you're spending time with. It really shows who you are.
Yeah. Our pastor says, "Show me your friends. I'll show you your future."
Yeah.
So
That's a big thing. Like, just making sure. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Just surrounding yourself with people that are going to hold you accountable, and then you hold them accountable, and making sure you know, like, hey, we've got to do better. You know, we can't do this. This is not the right thing to do.
Mhm.
And just making sure that there's boundaries. You have to have boundaries in order to maintain that same stride of being on the right path. You have to have boundaries, and it's so important. And I think just being able to overcome the challenges of the culture that we're in today and not falling into that trap is important.
Gabe, what's our next one?
Our next one is why are young leaders important, or in our culture important?
Well, we kind of covered a lot actually. I feel like we
Yeah.
bring it up all the time. I mean, if you don't have someone to set that next culture up,
Mhm.
then you're going to be stuck,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be able to feel like you move. So like, you have to have a leader so you can get to that next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A generation without leaders is a lost generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, you know, just being, I mean, it's just important because there has to be someone, like you said, like, generation without a leader's lost. Like, you have to have someone there that's going to be like, you know, hey, this isn't right. Like, kind of like we
Mhm.
talked about earlier, like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's even with what the world we live in today, even though there's situations where we know, like, this is the wrong thing to do, a lot of times people still do it because
Yeah.
they're like,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't do this, other people are going to think I'm different. Other
Yeah.
people are going to think, you know,
I'm gonna lose friends.
Yeah.
Like all that.
reputation. We
Yeah.
talked about that last episode. Just like why, you know, we have this feeling that we need to do things in order for people to think more of us. And I think
Mhm.
that's so important to have that leader because it's like, don't do that. And it's just raising up a different culture, counterculture. I mean, you have to be able to have a culture that's the opposite and, you know, hey, these are the wrong things
Mhm.
that shouldn't be done. And we're trying to raise up a generation of people that's not doing those things and it's living for the right reasons and doing the things that, you know, pleases God. And, you know, I think it's just so important.
Yeah. How can you be a good young leader in our culture?
I think it starts with having the right heart and priorities.
Mhm.
You have to understand that, you know, like Matthew said last episode, and we've already talked about it, like, you're not going to be able to stay away from those distractions.
Yep.
Like, they're always going to be there. And if you have the right mindset and heart, like, it's almost like you don't even want to go into those things. And it's like,
Mhm.
I know this isn't the right thing, and I'm really not interested in it because I know there's things the other things that are better for me that I can also enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Pastor Ben says sin is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be fun, but it's not right.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the closer you get to God, the farther you get away from distractions
Yeah.
and all that. So it's really just like to be a good young leader, you just have to have a good relationship with God and like pray.
Yeah,
Just talk to God about everything that's going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no doubt. I think also, so I think, yeah, the first thing I would say is just make sure you have the right mindset and heart. The second
Mhm.
thing I would say is, you know, be someone who's like a servant. You know,
Yeah.
show that
Yeah.
you are willing to help people because there's not a lot of servants in our culture today. I think, you know,
People are selfish.
yeah,
I mean,
greedy. You know,
Yeah.
all about, you know, this is what's best for me, but, you know,
Mhm.
like, it's hard, you know, like, we get mad at a lot of things and it's like we don't even think about, you know, some people don't even have the opportunity that we have to be mad about certain things. Like,
Yeah.
some people don't even get that. So I think being a servant and being able to say, you know what, like, I want to give back and I want to help others that don't have as much as I do. Like, that's so important to being a good young leader in our culture, especially because it sets you apart. Like, it's like people are going to notice that, you know, hey, I want to go work with
Mhm.
this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to follow him, do what he's doing because he's setting that up. He's on the right path.
Yeah. Just
So,
putting others before yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, do you have anything on servant leadership?
I mean, we need to stop being selfish. Like, just, I know it's kind of cutthroat, but like, it's the truth. Like,
Mhm.
our generation today is just so set on us. Like you said, what's best for us, what we get most out of something. Like, it's, we just need to focus on other people.
Mhm.
I mean, we should be grateful for what we have. Like, one thing that gets taken for granted a lot is like school and education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, other countries don't even have school.
Yeah.
Like, they can't even get that. So like, we just need to stop.
Yeah. Being
Just
humble.
just
Mhm.
yeah, just be open
Yeah.
and
No doubt.
just receive so you can give.
Yeah. A big thing is like people don't even realize it's like food. Like we're like so blessed to be able to eat every day.
Yeah.
Like it's just like we take it for granted for sure.
Eat and watch football.
Yeah. Something I have on serving, like, so when I was in Maryland, they had a pastors meet up, and just being able to be there and like be around and listening to all these people that are pretty good pastors and listening and taking their advice. I took a lot of notes, and something about serving is, somebody said this, I can't remember who it was, but they said serving serving is basically doing more than you are asked to do.
Mhm.
Like, it's really easy for us to do what we're asked to
Mhm.
do because
People are scared to say no.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's easy for us to do that, but serving is being able to go and do more than that. Like,
Mhm.
I can do what I'm asked to do, but also I can go beyond that and go,
Yeah.
hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that?
Yeah, and I also feel like serving is you don't even get asked to.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do it without getting asked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you like want to do
You
it.
want
Like
to
you
do it.
look
You don't.
forward to
You
doing
don't.
it.
You don't need to or have to do it.
It's like, hey, let me do this for you.
We
Yeah.
get to do it.
Yeah.
And like while I'm doing this, I can also do this to help.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to serve.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to do it, but when you do, not only does it help others, but it helps yourself. It grows you as a person.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I think servant leadership is
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah.
This isn't even in the notes, but like a third thing I have on being a good young leader in our culture is you got to be able to respect others. You have to have that feeling of be humble and also have respect.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
honor people.
I hear all the time in school, why would I respect this teacher if they don't respect me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of agree with that,
Yeah.
but you also have to just remember people are sensitive now. That's
Yeah.
that's just the
Like-
bottom line. People are sensitive.
Mhm.
In our culture today, a lot of people think if you're being respectful or you're showing honor to someone who has authority or like someone who you have respect for, a lot of people call it sucking up. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you're doing this. But
Yeah.
this is another thing I got from the pastors meetup. Somebody said that the difference between sucking up and showing honor is what's in your heart.
Yeah.
So like if you're truly and I think that's why so many people see it as respecting and honoring the person above you,
Mhm.
and the other people that see it as sucking up, it's a difference in heart. Like,
Yeah.
leaders are going to be the ones who honor and respect, and it's not seen as sucking up to them. It's seen as,
Mhm.
hey, this person has the authority over me. They've done good things, whatever it may be. I need to show respect to them because,
Yeah.
that's just out of my heart.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
really the difference in our culture
My,
is,
Mhm.
my dad says all the time, people respect good leadership.
yeah,
So when you have a good leader, then people will respect them and give them everything, all
Yeah.
the grace and stuff. I mean, you gotta still understand that these leaders are still people.
Mhm.
They're still gonna mess up.
yeah,
But I mean, at the end of the day,
respect. Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Being able to respect. I think it's hard for people in our culture to respect today. And I don't know why that is, but it's like, it's just a tone that people have and just like being rude.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like the generation.
And social media is
Like,
big on that.
mhm.
It's just like things that people say, just be respectful. And that it's easy to be respected if you can be respectful.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something that is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But if you can be respectful, you can be a great leader because people will respect you for being
And
respectful.
it kind of
Mhm.
ties in with attitude. our generation's
Yeah.
attitude is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great.
like,
That's like
you have to
yeah.
have the attitude, like we said, you get to. You don't
Mhm.
have to.
Yeah,
And, like, our generation's attitude is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say something wrong to the wrong person, they're gonna, like, chew you out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make them feel good.
Yeah, it's just, it ties along with like being selfish.
Yes,
Yeah.
like you need to have the attitude of, I'm going to do this because I want to.
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't need to be selfish about it. And when somebody says something wrong, I mean, you can't get mad. I mean, I guess you could, but you don't need to chew them out for
yeah.
it.
you
I mean, they're
respect-
still,
yeah, have that
like,
respect.
yeah, like, they're
Yeah.
still humans. Like,
Yeah, it's
so,
like when
There's-
people take
yeah.
criticism today,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they take it the wrong way. Like criticism isn't always someone like being like, "Hey, you're messing up." Like it's them respectfully telling you, what you're doing may be good, but I have something that might be able to help you make
Yeah.
it better.
make it better. There's always a next step you
Constructive,
can do.
What were you gonna say, good?
Just like constructive criticism. Like
Yeah.
it builds you. Even though you may not like what you're hearing, like maybe you need to be hearing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'd say that's the third thing for being a good leader in our culture is just to be respectful. The fourth thing I would say is, avoid comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Like in our culture today, comparison is such a big thing. Like you've got to be able to avoid that. Like don't worry so much about what other people are doing. Like, oh, they're doing so much better than me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what you see on social media is not what's actually happening.
Exactly.
Like-
yeah.
You got to think, how many tries did it take them to get that one photo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like the biggest
or
lie.
like they'll post like,
Like-
oh, this is happening in my life, and it's like, oh, everything seems perfect, but really, no,
Mhm.
it's probably not.
Yep.
And I think just
mean-
avoid comparison.
And a lot of people today put fake faces on
Yeah.
because of that. It's like, you got to think, like, we can put it in as like a social media stand. Like, half the things you see today are filters. Pictures
Mhm.
today are filters.
Yeah.
They're not real.
Yeah. And like things that people say, like they'll say that, but it's not how they're probably genuinely feeling. They're saying
Mhm.
it because it goes along with what they're doing.
Yeah,
Because
they
it
don't
makes
want to
other
get
it makes
Yeah.
other people feel good.
they don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
Cancel culture.
I'll say this: comparison is like comparison keeps you from being great if you keep comparing yourself to others. Somebody
Mhm.
said it this way. Another note I have: you're not advancing because you're paralyzed in comparison. If
Uh-huh.
you sit there stuck in comparison, you're not going to go anywhere because all you're worried about is somebody else's success or failure.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about your own success or failure, and you're so stuck in that you're not even moving forward. Like you're staying in
Yeah.
the same place.
Like, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people.
Real
because-
talk.
Because, dang, we just got deep really, like,
Yeah.
fast.
Real talk.
But, like, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people, and because, like, you are you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I used to, as a kid, I always remember saying, oh, my friend's parents are letting them do this.
Oh.
And my
yeah.
parents would be like, well, we're not their parents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that as a kid, but, like,
Now it makes
now that
sense.
I'm older, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are not somebody else.
Mhm.
Like if you were supposed to be that person, then God would have made you that
That
person.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, real talk.
Mm.
We're real.
Hey,
We're
this
this
is
real
getting
today,
good.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. We
This is
we,
hard.
mi- we missed a week and came back firing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Comparison. It's a comparison trap. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk
Yeah.
about it all the time. It's just like don't get stuck in that stuff because like it doesn't matter. All that matters is what your purpose and plan is, and
Mhm.
what your success is. Like
Yeah.
we're our generation today. We're so worried about Jimmy John's success over there. Like, oh, he's got 1,000 followers,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here with 200. Like, bro,
How
Jimmy
long-
John has
Yeah.
probably 50 views. You might have those 200 followers, but they're probably all watching your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you could have 1,000 followers, and they're only 50, 60 of them are listening. Like,
Yeah.
followers, that doesn't mean anything. It's about the change that you're doing. It's not
Mhm.
about the views that you're getting. It's about the change that you're doing in those people.
And comparing yourself kind of goes back to putting on that fake face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you compare yourself to somebody else, you are trying to be like them,
Mhm.
which you're not, which is making you a fake person.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, there's just so many people in different scenarios. Like there's different people for like a reason. You know
You're
what I'm saying?
you're
Like
put on this earth for a reason. God
Yeah.
put a gift, a talent in you,
Yeah.
and a purpose for your life
hmm
to change the world.
yeah.
I
He
guess you
didn't
could
put
say.
you on the earth to go look at Jimmy John's success over there and be like, hey, he's doing great.
Yeah.
He put you like, hey, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna change people. And like, we're so caught up in what other people are doing that we can't even admire our own success sometimes because we're so
Yeah.
worried that we're not as good as the person
Mhm.
to our left.
Yeah, like you got to take small steps before you take big steps.
Yeah. I heard someone say comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
That's real.
Yeah. Real talk.
Real talk. Okay, so here's another quote that goes with that. Stay in the lane that God has for you.
yeah,
Don't
Yeah.
try to go into that guy's lane and be like, oh, look
Mhm.
what he's doing. God's built this lane for you. You've got to stay in it. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're driving on the highway, you don't veer off into the other lane and hit somebody's car.
Yeah.
You got to stay in your lane.
I remember your dad saying, "We all have dreams.
Yeah,
All of us have dreams. But when you accomplish that dream, you don't feel fulfilled. You need to accomplish your purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you
hmm
we need to stop worrying about our dreams
Yeah.
and start focusing on our purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
What God has for us.
real.
Because if you focus on your purpose and not your dreams, then you'll when you I guess I wouldn't really say
Accomplish.
finish, but when you kind of get done with it, you feel so much better about yourself and you feel
Yeah.
like you've changed somebody
Yeah.
Like-
or some people.
And that's where comparison comes in. Like comparison, you're like setting all these big dreams. Like, oh, this guy's doing all this. I need to be going for that.
And maybe
Yeah.
maybe that person that has that, maybe that was their purpose.
Yeah,
And that's not your
That's it.
purpose.
exactly. You gotta stay
Yeah.
in your lane. Like you're going for this guy's dreams. Like he's doing
Mhm.
so great. I want to go after that.
Yeah.
God's got something completely different for you, and you don't even know it because you're so blinded by how you're not as good or you're not as successful as somebody else. You've got to
Yeah.
be able to be like, hey, this is my lane. God's doing this for me. I'd rather change 50 lives than try and gain 1,000 followers and where I don't do anything to anybody. I'd rather change that few people
Mhm.
because that's what my purpose is. I've got to
Yeah.
be able to understand that.
hmm
Yeah.
We're getting real today, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like he might have a big house, but how much influence does he have? Like
Yeah.
who's he influencing?
yeah,
And that's like one of the biggest things, like influencing others.
for sure.
Like you can say like let's just say a pastor. I'm not saying any pastors like this, but like we could take that. When they're on stage, they're like that, but when they're at home, are they the same way?
Yeah.
You don't know.
hmm
But you have to trust that they're doing their purpose. Because if they're doing their purpose, then they live out their purpose.
Yeah.
They're not just putting it on for
Mhm.
for a day.
On and off the
Yes,
platform.
if you're living out in your purpose, it'll be in your life.
Yeah.
hmm
So we've got we've got 4 really strong points.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so being a good leader in our culture, what we've got is 1, have a good heart, have the right desires. 2, what do we say for 2?
2 was.
We made these up on the fly. So we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
have a good heart. We had don't fall into the comparison
Yep.
trap.
hmm
Uh,
What else do we have?
why are the young leaders important?
No, for like the points for a good
Oh.
leader. So we had have a pure heart and desire. We also had
Comparison trap.
comparison trap. Oh,
Yeah.
being a servant leader.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
servant
that's it.
leader,
Yeah.
and then respect and honor.
Yeah.
hmm
So yeah, you've got to first have a pure heart and be after the right things. You've
Mhm.
got to be a servant. You've got to
I think we should change that. I think we should add a point. Just stay in your lane.
stay in your lane. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Stay
in your lane. But y'all gonna see a graphic this week on
Stay on your
Stay
lane.
in your
Wednesday.
lane.
Stay in your lane. So yeah, pure heart.
hmm
Be a servant. Respect and honor others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fall into comparison. Make sure that you're staying confident in your abilities. And then 5, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
All right.
We might make a shirt. 412 Leadership Podcast. Stay in your
Y'all
lane.
ready for the ice maker?
Ice maker. Ooh.
Ice maker.
Also,
You got
guys,
one?
we are really sorry. This episode is really long.
Is it?
I mean, it's about 30 minutes ish,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of.
Longer than our normal guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this
we
episode,
were having real talk today,
Yeah.
guys.
real talk.
All right.
So,
I'm putting that on a shirt, underlined in bold. Real talk.
When you're sitting down watching a movie or something, what is your favorite snack to eat while
popcorn.
chilling?
Why don't you just say like at a movie theater?
Well, no, like
Movie theater
just like
snack.
chilling. Like
Give
when you're
me
chilling,
Some
what's your favorite
popcorn.
snack?
Good buttered popcorn.
Popcorn.
Like,
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
So I would say gummy bears because those are my favorite, but that's not even a snack. That's like a candy.
well, like, yeah, like if I'm watching a movie, like I want some popcorn.
I'm not really picky. Like
Honestly,
whatever
yeah, I'm not picky.
Yeah, like
you
whatever
give
I
me
have.
anything.
Yeah.
You
Anything.
know what I want right now? I talk about this to y'all all the time. Whales. I'm so feeling that right now.
Goldfish whales.
No, they're not goldfish,
Or
but
like
they're whales.
made by goldfish.
No,
What is whales?
it's a completely different thing. So it's literally like goldfish, but it's called whales and they're shaped in whales. And
Is
they're
it-
so much more cheesy.
is
They're
it like-
so good?
Crackers?
It's just like goldfish.
Really?
It's the same thing as goldfish, as they call it whales.
Bro.
They're
I've
so
never
good.
heard of that in my life.
I like the extra cheddar goldfish, but like
Yeah.
popcorn, like the thing with popcorn though is like, I like butter. Like
Yeah.
I learned this from Do Perfect. They put the straw
Oh,
in there
yeah.
and they put the butter in the straw, and it gets to the core, and that's how you butter it up.
Mhm. That's who did
Well,
it first?
I
Do
know my
Perfect?
That's where I learned it from.
Yeah, because I was wondering where I learned it from.
I know my favorite snack.
All right.
Cheez-Its.
When
Ooh.
you're watching a movie.
When you're watching,
I would
yeah.
s- I
Okay, is
would-
this
Dude.
like favorite snack or is it while you're watching a movie?
Let's just like just chill. Like you're just chilling.
Like, so I'm just like, I just want a snack.
Yep.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
If I just want a snack, give me some Sour Patch watermelon. Like they got the sweet and
I
sour.
thought yours was Swedish fish.
I like Swedish Fish too, but like
Oh,
Sour Patch watermelon
yeah.
hit different.
Yeah, those do. Those are.
Okay, let's one controversial candy you like that nobody else likes.
Twizzlers.
I like Twizzlers.
Really?
I-
I've gotten so much hate on
Twizzlers
Twizzlers.
are hit or miss. I feel like it depends on like if I'm in the mood.
Yeah.
That's my sister's favorite candy.
Dude, and like I don't know what they've been doing to them recently, but like sometimes they're like really hard and hard to chew, and then sometimes they're like really good.
Mine is Dots.
Oh, bro.
those are really controversial. I don't like them.
I do not like Dots
I
at
love
all.
Dots. Like I would have to say that's like my top 3 favorite candy.
Oh my!
Ooh. Halloween's coming up. How do y'all feel about candy corn?
Oh, candy corn's awful.
I like it.
You like candy corn? It's hit or miss.
You know what's
for me.
even worse
it
than
is,
candy
it
corn?
is hit or miss.
The pumpkin ones. Those little pumpkins.
Mm.
It's like candy corn, but like in a pumpkin.
Are they thick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
Those
And
Are,
it's
those
like
are
pretty
bad.
much just like candy corn.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
they're thicker and
what
Yeah.
are we dressing up as for Halloween? Me and Gabe already talked about my.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be the Winter Soldier because I got the hair for it.
Oh, wait, what's his name? I
Dude,
can't remember.
Lucky Barnes.
Oh yeah, Bucky.
That's
I think I'm just gonna dress up as something scary. And
Like I said, I'm
scare
gonna
kids.
stand in my doorway, like whenever like the scene where like he just like will be standing there and he doesn't move. He just like stares at you. I'm gonna just.
Are you
do
gonna
that.
paint your arm silver?
I'm just wear a black long sleeve.
His arm is silver.
I might just get like a little gray sleeve.
Yeah.
One gray
Are
sleeve,
we
one
scaring
Put a little
kids
red star
outside your
on it.
house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Like last year.
I'll be I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
I haven't dressed up for Halloween.
Me
in so
either. I haven't
long.
dressed up in years.
No, the ice maker's hitting today.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts. Well, first let's just go over our points. So, we talked about why is it hard to be a young leader? What challenges do we face? How do we overcome them? Why young leaders are important, and then how can you be a good young leader in our culture? Have a pure heart. What was 2? Oh gosh, I forgot it already. I'm tripping. Oh my gosh. Oh, servant leadership.
yeah.
Be a servant. 3 was respect and honor.
Yeah.
4, don't fall into the comparison trap. And then 5, stay
Stay
in
in your
your
lane.
lane. What an episode.
What a
Yeah.
very good one.
Real talk.
When we don't do it for a week, we have so many things to say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we ran a little long. You guys got any final thoughts as George Pickens runs into the end zone for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Bro went into announcer mode.
No. I would just say fulfill your. Don't chase
Chase your purpose, not your
chase
dreams.
chase your purpose, not your dreams.
That's good.
Good
I mean,
stuff.
you can do chase your dreams too, but like you need to
Put your purpose
put
above all.
purpose and as your priority instead of your dreams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Gabe.
Just like y'all said, stay in the lane that God gave you.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't try to be someone you're not.
yeah, don't try to make your own lane either.
Stop
Stay in
comparing
the one that-
yourself.
yeah.
I tell people that
And-
all the time because it's not even good for you. It makes you feel bad about
Yeah.
yourself when you try to compare
It's
yourself.
Yeah.
big on mental health.
Mhm.
All right, we got to end it or we'll keep going. All right.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
guys. So, this was a great episode. We finally gave you guys culture episode, and we real talked it today.
Yeah.
Kind of a
So,
little serious.
we hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you go and follow us on all platforms, whichever platform you choose, at 412 Leadership, and make sure you follow us on Instagram to see what we're posting throughout the week. That's all we got. We
Yeah.
had a great episode. We'll be back next week. We love you guys.
Hopefully next week.
See y'all later.
See ya.
See ya.